What's good, not move family? It's your boy Mark Pride, the smoothest silkworm, the coolest cucumber. I'm back with another WNBA episode. I ain't seen y'all in a minute. I've been busy lately. Um, had a few things going on. I'm not gonna really get into that. Yeah, some big steps in my life. So since we last talked, and Sports Haven should be here in a minute. Before I get into anything, y'all know not move. Subscribe to the podcast. We got a lot of things going on. Any sports you like, you got BetUS. Put your picks in through there. Use promo code in the bio, and you get 125% match on your first three entries. Um, of course, y'all know. Also playback. We do live stream for most games, especially NFL since it's the height of the NFL season. Um, let's see. Southgate, my boy Southgate, y'all know he does the picks. Also, y'all know better betters with the cheddar betters. He'll get y'all right. Um, yeah, so she should be streaming on playback tomorrow, I think, for the Thursday night game. We got a lot of things going on with not moved. Anyways, now that I got that out of the way, let's get into it. Last time I talked to y'all, I think the playoffs the first. No, I talked to y'all after the first. Okay, I remember. I talked to y'all after the first game one of the playoffs, the first slate, and it's been a while, right? So the first round is wrapped up. Yeah, I've been absent. Sports Haven should pop up here soon. Um, so the Dream and the Liberty got eliminated. Y'all know that's my Sports Haven's team. Me being the Georgia boy, he's from New York. The Valkyrie got eliminated, and Storm got eliminated. All right. So quick recap. Um, so the Liberty, I feel like they just got outlasted, right? Satu Sabali, Alyssa Smith, they had great performances in the game three, 20-point game from Satu. I think it tripled over from Alyssa Smith. And Alyssa Thomas, I said Alyssa Smith. Anyway, y'all know who I got confused with. I'll get into that later. Alyssa Thomas. They both had great game threes to close the series out. Atlanta, I feel like we just weren't physical enough. I noticed in game two, it was a possession. We were down by I believe 7, and they shot a ball. We just cut the lead from like 12-7. Like we had opportunity to go on a run. Shot the ball. We got a rebound. Came down with it, and she ripped the ball out of her hands. I said, yeah, we lost. We have no control. We have no response for this physicality that they bring in, and they took the game over after that. Um, and of course, the Valkyrie, they were just outmatched. The Valkyrie and the Storm, they were just outmatched. Storm ran into the hottest team in the league, and Valkyrie ran into the best team in the league. It happens to the best of us, even though they're not the best of us. Now, pivoting off of that, Valkyrie has Coach of the Year, Natalie Nakase, and Most Improved Player, who I think should have been Nas Hillman. But I did pick Veronica Burton. I thought she was going to win it. I thought it would. Nas Hillman also wins Most Improved, not Most Improved, I'm sorry, Sixth Person of the Year. I'm sorry. And it was a, excuse me. Okay, excuse me, people. Anyways, Sixth Person of the Year. She was a great piece off the bench for Atlanta. She showed up a few. She showed that in the playoffs pretty much. And sportsmanship award. Ineka Gumake, defense player of the year, co-defense player of the year. Yeah, we know Bam had an issue with that. Alana Smith, Aja Wilson, co-depoys. Also Aja Wilson win the MVP. Shout out to her, fourth most in NBA history. Rookie of the year, Paige Beckers. Yeah, all the awards coming up. And one of the biggest excuse me. Oh, also executive year. At the Atlanta Dream GM got executive year. He made a lot of big changes to the roster. He did a great job lifting us. Probably the biggest story I think so far in the all season. Sandy Brondello, who just won a championship right last year, which I compared this to the Mike Malone firing. She got fired, which is crazy, right? I compared this to the Mike Malone firing, right? There's been talks over here and talk that had she not won the title last season, she would have been gone. But of course, you got to extend her because she won the title, and that made me think of course, as y'all know, Mike Malone, right? So now let's get into everything that just happened, right? So we had two games last night. The only four teams that's playing. We had probably game of the year between the Lynx and the Mercury. Now, it was very interesting, right? Because, like, for the first 2.5 quarters, the Mercury were. It seemed like the Mercury was trying to stand in front of this non-stop locomotive that's just pushing and pushing and pushing. But I noticed something, and I'm gonna see if y'all caught it on the broadcast, right? So if y'all notice in the very beginning of the game, excuse me, people. I'm sorry. If y'all notice the very beginning of the game, they were playing slow, smart offense, right? We're going to get on defense. We're going to slow it down. We're going to make that extra pass. We're going to get girls in motion. We're going to hit the back door, get off screens really well. They were picking and rolling very, very good, opening up lanes. And they had very efficient offense. And if they went into the halftime break, I'm watching this, and they're talking about, they're like, these girls are running a smart offense. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on who was there, who did the halftime. I'm sorry. Anyways, so then they get into the third quarter, and they're running the fast breaks. And the first possession out of the fast break, the coach was like, we dominated the first two quarters, and we turned the ball over the first possession of the game. And I think that was like their fourth turnover of the game, right? And then Courtney Williams, she seemed a bit off. She had a very efficient scoring game. She was great for mid range. But if y'all notice, when they tried to get moving in transition, like they were going and going and going, a lot of the passes ended up behind them. It was a lot of passes, and the ball kept getting turned over. I don't know how many turnovers they had, but I know it was a boatload. And interesting enough, right? They had three 20-point scores in this game. Now, Collier being one of them. And every starter was in the negative as far as plus minus goes. Now I know plus minus is not the end all be all of like what determines who plays well, but I thought it was very interesting. So I'm kind of looking at the stats from the game, and I'm like, wow, these turnovers piled up. They had Caleb McBride had 3, which she was Nafisa Collier had 1, Courtney Williams, as I said earlier, 7, Alana Smith 2, and Charleston 1. Carlston, I don't know why I said Charleston. Anyway, so yeah, it just is a high turnover game, and they let them back in the game. As y'all know, they blew a 20-point lead, lose by 6 in overtime. So I didn't think this game was going to go to overtime. I thought the Lewis was going to pull it out. After that, Caleb McBride steal for the layup. I thought the game was over with. This was a ugly game. Believe it or not, even though they played well, this was an ugly second half for the Lynx, right? And of course, give the girls their credit, right? Give the Mercury their credit. They definitely pulled back into this one. They had clutch performances for Alyssa Thomas, right? They were like, I remember they were on the broadcast. They were like, "Hey, you're the biggest. You're big. You're strong. You have to get in this game, right?" And I believe she had like 6 points in the first half. 13 came in the second half. I'm not sure. But yeah, she put her imprint on the second half. Satu Sabali, she had an inefficient game, but an effective game. Sammy Whitcomb, she had the biggest 3 of the game. She had a couple clutch plays down the stretch. She was a very good decision maker in this game. Obviously, this was because this was a statement game for Mercury. This game that's like, we're not going to lay down, we're not going to take it, we're going to fight, because that first game was a kind of a beatdown, right? It was kind of a beatdown. The Lynx were like this nonstop locomotive, and it seemed like that the Mercury just standing in the way. It was So they had a double-digit win in game 1. Of course, first of all, I'm so sorry I got 10 minutes into this episode without saying it. Happy birthday, Nafisa Collier! Belated birthday. She turned 29. She had a very disappointing 29th birthday, blowing a 20-point lead. That's another thing too. I forgot to mention. So I remember I was at halftime. I want to see. So she ended the game 10 of 22. Right. That's her shot selection. Not shot selection. That's her shot count at the end of the game. I remember after the first half, she was 7 for 14 with 17 points, right? I think after the third quarter, she was like 9 of 16 or like 8 of 16. I'm like, how does she only have 2 shots in the third quarter? And then she ended the game, 3 for 8. Very bad stretch. Now, Alana Smith showed us why she was co-depoy with Asia Wilson last night. She had a very good defensive game, in my opinion. Even though they got beat, um, this was a pretty much this is a state. This was just a statement game. Said, hey, we're not going to take this line down. You're going to have to beat us. And they had I think they outproduced them on the bench as well. The Lynx on this rare occasion didn't get any bench production. Um, again, the turnovers are, of course, as Shannon Sharp always say, turnovers cost you double, especially in the playoffs. Right? That's any sport. Um, it's unless you're the Indiana Pacers, apparently, in game one. Um, so on to the other side of the bracket that happened last night. I fell asleep on that game. I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't judge me. Um, but I kind of checked it out today. I watched the game. I watched most of the end today. Again, I've been very busy the last 2 days. So let's go to the first game first, right? Because this first game gave us our month woman of the week, right? Kelsey Mitchell, 30-point game in the upset versus the Aces. Kelsey Mitchell has been excellent this playoff run. She one of the reasons why my dream got eliminated and cost my dream of running at the championship. Anyways, Kelsey Mitchell. Alexi Ho was also very good in game one. Oh, no. What's that game one? Anyway, yeah, Lexi Ho had a very good game. I'm sorry, I've been back. Yeah, Lexi Ho had a pretty good game one. This was just a very good effort. Yeah, very good effort all around. Aaliyah Boston had a good rebounding game. Very good effort all around. Natasha Howard had a double double, I believe. Very good game. They had played extremely good defense that second half against Asia Wilson. She struggled that second half, right? She struggled mightily. Hold on, let me look back at it. Excuse me. 6 for 22 in the game. Now, if I'm correct, she had 12 and 8 at halftime or something like that. She had like crazy stat line at halftime. They're like, the MVP shows like she the MVP. Because she also had a 4-block game. Yes, they're like the MVP shows why she the MVP at halftime. I got the notification, and I'm like, yeah, she's definitely putting up buckets here. And then I turn and look, and the second half is completely different. And that turned into something. They lit a fire under her. And last night she dominated the game. 25 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks. She was everywhere. 10 for 18. Yes, she definitely asserted her dominance. Of course, Nalissa Smith, almost said Natasha Smith. Jackie Young had a very good game. They had a very good game all around, actually. Chelsea Gray had a 10 assist game. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this team, like the Aces, they did not like losing that game, which who likes losing the game? But yeah, very good game all around. So the series is one both sides. Yeah, I found something very interesting. Right, so just to fill y'all in, I recently joined the Navy, and I was in MEPS, and one of my roommates, as you know, if you ever done Navy or MEPS or whatever, you go to a hotel the night before you have roommates, right? So I have a roommate. He's not really into WNBA, and I'm watching the game. Right, he first we were watching TV. He leaves. The game comes on. I turn it on. Right, I'm in the hotel watching the game. I don't have my notebook, but I'm putting. I didn't have my notebook, but I had my phone. I'm taking my notes out. I forgot my notebook, and he comes in. He's like, "What are you taking notes for?" Like, I'm just watching the game. I cover a podcast for the WNBA, as you guys already know. And then he's like, "That's interesting." And he's like, "Is it like how how is the WNBA? Like, I don't pay too much attention to it." And I'm like, "Man, just sit down and check it out." And we watched. We watched Mercury put on a very, very tough performance in this comeback. And then when Whitcomb hit that shot, he was like, "These girls are balling." I'm like, "Yeah, the NBA gets a bad name. The WNBA gets a bad name. Excuse me, sometimes from haters. But man, this is a very impressive sport." Um, And I also had, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to recover. First, I was busy, as I just told y'all, I joined the Navy. And I had to recover for the heartbreak of my dream losing. That hurt me very bad, especially the fall and then I don't even want to get into it. The late rotation, the lack of physicality, the inbound pass. Yeah, I struggled a lot. Yeah. Anyways, so this has been another recap of game action. Of course, we talk about the awards here. I I, I think me and Sports Haven pretty much 100% on the awards, which I think every award was obvious, probably besides Decoy. Which, interested enough, that's the Cold Award. I think it's pretty much the easiest. These are the easiest races to guess. I think it was MVP was pretty tight until I think the worst thing that happened for Nafisa Collier MVP candidacy is when she was out and they beat the brakes off the Aces because then Asia Wilson went scorched earth and the Aces killed everybody for the rest of the season. All right, yeah, this has been another recap with the Not Move podcast. Your boy Moss Prod, the smoothest silkworm, the coolest cucumber, the Georgia boy. Yes, I is. Yes, I is. I should be doing a pregame tomorrow because, as y'all know, my Seahawks are also playing. Ooh, this is going to be a very busy week. Um, Unfortunately, Georgia playing in Alabama, so Georgia might lose. So, y'all, yeah, I'm going through it. I had a very good week in fantasy. I'm undefeated in 2 leagues still. Um, Anything else I want to tell y'all before I get out of here? No, I think that's it. Much love to the Not Move family. This is the Not Move podcast. Y'all know we're sponsored by BetUS. Go to the link in the bio, put in the promo code. I said bio. The link should be in the description when the video. Promo code, use Not Moved. 125% match on your first 3 deposits. Get your picks in. As y'all know, better betters get you cheddar better betters. Southgate also does live stream early for your picks on NFL Sunday. Also, we do live streams on playback. I forgot to tell y'all when I first started out. So Southgate, he does this a lot. He'll tell you when he does it. If you guys join the live stream, the playback live stream or the TikTok live stream, right? We have watch parties. And if he hits his parlays, he do cash giveaways. He done it the last 2-3 times. But y'all have to get in there and have the viewership up, right? He's not going to do it. We have 42 viewers in there. That's not going to happen, right? We got to stay above 100. We got to get above 100. We got to stay above 100. So flood the lives, flood playback. You know, give your support. We appreciate y'all, man. This is Not Move Family, Not Move Podcast. Lock in and log out, man. Hey, it's your boy Moss Prod tagging out. And one more time, I'm not moved.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.